Hey you, Fortnite fan, I have a question for you. Are you interested in the Fortnite storyline? More specifically, are you interested about the Chapter 5 storyline, the hints, secrets, everything that we're trying to figure out right now? If so, I have the video for you. We're going to be reacting to Pbj's video today. His videos have been exploding, and there's one in particular that I began watching. Of course, as always, noticed it was an absolute banger, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop. I want to make a video on this because there is something in this video that I've been talking about with Pbj, and I have no idea how he could possibly figure that out. It just blows my mind, man. The guy's so good at what he does with this Fortnite storyline, and we're going to watch it today. We're going to get into the video in just a second. Before we do that, I do want to say, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's get started.
Montague isn't who he seems to be. So far throughout all of chapter...
My guy got a brand new camera, by the way, and he looks great. Look at this. Hang on. Look at the clarity there. The Fortnite Everything podcast is about to be better than ever, man.
Far throughout all of Chapter 5, we have been teased with the return of Midas. I feel like we've had so many teasers towards Midas that it's almost safe to say that he will return.
Now, it is important to note, something I do want to say is because everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, there have been so many Fortnite fans, and understandably so. If you're one of those people, I understand completely, that have completely jumped ship from the Midas thing because Epic has been teasing it for so long, and he actually never came. You could argue the same thing with the Caddis or the Singularity. All those storylines that they kind of just abandoned or kept teasing. I think it's important to note because Charlie Wen is now taking over, Donald Mustard isn't in charge, whatever was going on with Chapter 4 is no more. So I am absolutely going to give Fortnite a chance to tell the story and give us teasers properly. So I understand, again, that everybody's skeptical about Midas coming back. It's just... give him another chance. Honestly, Chapter 5 is a brand new thing.
Why and how, that is a little bit confusing right now, but I might have just figured it out. Because there's this very strange character that has some weird ties towards Midas. Montague, or Montague, is a character that rules over diamonds. He is somehow related to Midas, and I'll get into that in just a moment, but there have been teasers everywhere related to Midas, such as the Season 2 doors from his trailer.
It's crazy, the stuff he spots. And I don't know if, like, everything in this video Pbj actually spotted himself, but I know there's one big thing that he actually told me, and I'm like, how do you think of that, man? This is where I get into the Fortnite, like, I love talking about the Fortnite storyline. I love looking at these teasers, but I'm like, how do people see this stuff? Okay, the paintings, that's understandable. That's easy to get. But you know what? I'll talk about it more when we get to it, man, because there's just something that he's going to talk about that's crazy.
Picture of the agency. A picture of Midas on one of the files from the trailer, which, by the way, was the iconic file from Chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
Season 2. And that's only about half of them, including the yacht, which is literally Midas's ship, and he used to keep Meowscles on it. And if you didn't know, Meowscles was his basically right-hand man. He was there for him, they were buddies, they were friends. And something very interesting about Montague, or Montague, his buddy is a cat as well. I'm gonna compare the two, Midas and Montague, a few times in this video, and I'll explain at the end why. Basically, Midas...
Before we get into that, it's just... the only thing that I'm not really getting right now, I'm not sure about, is we know this is kind of like an alternate reality for Chapter 2, right? Maybe it's just another version of Midas. Maybe that's Midas and Meowscles, but just different, because again, we're on the Chapter 2 island, right? We're just in the Season OG, like... the end part of that.
This has a pet cat that's almost like a human. So does Montague. Not only is it that, but they also both have different color eyes. I mean, Midas might not have originally had different color eyes, but definitely right now he has one eye that's gold and one eye that's like all white. Midas has a scar across his eye, and Montague has cuts in his eyebrow. They're not the same thing, but they're a little bit similar. I'll explain later. Now,
dude, there's so many similarities. I'm kind of on board with the theory that it's just an alternate version of Midas. What if this guy comes up with like some sort of device? How hype would that be?
Now, back to this ship. There is some really interesting things about it. First off, the Midas statue has been replaced with the Society's logo. Not just that, everything around the whole ship has been replaced with the Society's logo, leaving no trace of Midas besides some golden weights in the weight room. And it's
the subtle things like that. It really is. It's beautiful what Fortnite does with their teasers.
There's only two other things on this whole ship left that's related to Midas.
Hang on. Pause. Pause. This is what I'm talking about. I'll give you a second. Figure out what that means. Maybe I'm stupid, but this blew me away. I was talking about PBJ with this before he made a video on it. He was telling me this, and I was like, how could you possibly figure that out? You know what? Maybe you could figure out a piece of it. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know, man. I just think it's genius what people can accomplish.
One of them being the actual name of the ship, Marigold, which is either Midas's daughter or his wife. According to Greek mythology, Marigold was the daughter of Midas. But according to Fortnite, from what I can tell, Marigold is the wife of Midas. Why is this important though? Well, because on this computer upstairs, there is a login screen, and this login screen shows 2 accounts. They're all with the asterisks, the little stars, but you can assume 2 usernames with how many letters there are.
Maybe you could get Midas. Maybe. Who would think of Mary? Am I stupid? Like, I must be, man, because it seems so obvious, but if you're looking around the Fortnite map for teasers, how are you looking at this computer screen and noticing Marigold?
Top one has 5 and the bottom one has 8. But why does this matter? Because 5 letters is for Midas, 8 letters is for Marigold, proving that Midas is probably here. Now, but where does Montague tie into all of this? Montague and Midas are very similar, no doubt. They both have a cat, human, person thingy. They both wear pretty cool suits. They both have different color eyes. They are both seeking power. Why does the similarities between the two matter? Okay, I'm gonna make a very bold claim here. Midas and Montague are brothers. You may be wondering why I say this. My original thought was that Montague and Midas were the same person but mixed. So like this would be our Midas from a different reality. But no.
That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at personally, but I'm interested to see what he has to say.
Oh, I changed my mind. I think they're brothers. Let's say that Midas is the older brother and Montague is the younger brother. Midas grows up and he actually finds the golden touch. He finds this very powerful thing that he wants. And what does Montague have? Well, he has the diamond relic. But why do these two matter at all? What if Midas got the golden touch and Montague got jealous and went for the diamond relic?
It could work as like one of those jealous younger brother type things, right?
Because he knows that diamond is supposed to be over gold and, well, he wants to be cooler than his brother. More like a jealousy thing. It would be setting up for this very awesome fight. Midas looks like he's on this island right now. Montague is definitely on this island. Montague's idea for the island was the society, but what if Midas comes and takes over? They battle over the society.
There is some further proof for this, but I'll explain that in just a moment.
We know that Pbj has been stolen as well. We didn't know why Pbj had been stolen, but personally, I think I figured it out.
What? Let me guess, he's gonna work for the society? Maybe.
If Montague stole Pbj because he wants information. Okay, so hear me out.
Oh, yes. Okay, I don't remember if it was another Pbj video if we were talking about it, because I talk about this guy. This is the storyline of this guy a lot, so it's a little bit, it's a little weird to hear, or to remember where I heard this before, but it's an interesting thought. I'll let him finish his point first.
There's some people thinking that Montague stole Pbj because if he eats Pbj, he'll see the future.
That's it. That's a huge possibility. Either that or he's recruiting his own type of agent Pbj. I don't know. You could take this a lot of different ways, to be honest.
But in my opinion, that doesn't make sense, because why would he steal Pbj and then tell Jones that he has Pbj if he just wants something from Pbj?
Unless he wants something from Jones as well. Maybe he wants information on Midas, because of course Agent Jones has been studying Midas for a very long time. But then again, if I'm on the theory train that this is an alternate version of Midas, maybe he, like the Jones of this reality, will have his own file on Montague. You know, it's crazy, but I do like this idea that if he actually consumes Pbj, then he'll start seeing the future, because then we could have this whole thing again with the Bunker Jonesy, or maybe, of course, they would change it up a little bit, but they could have this whole thing again, but with different events on the Chapter 5 map, and maybe potentially years to come, because we're in a brand new reality now. I think this would be best case scenario if it happened, but will they do it? I don't know.
My opinion is that they stole Peely for a ransom against Jones. They're stealing Peely for some sort of information that Jones has. If this were the case, what kind of information would they be wanting?
Information on the IO, maybe, because we haven't seen the IO on this reality.
Well, the most important information.
Or that.
The 0 point. But is there even a 0 point on the island? I mean, we've seen some theories that they just doesn't exist. Well, in a loading screen in the battle pass, we can actually see the 0 point. And guess who's standing right in front of it? Jones. This is
Wow.
a very...
This is the stuff that I'm talking about, man. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. How could you possibly notice that? Hang on. How could you possibly notice that? I know we've taken a look at stuff before, but I honestly would not have looked at this. I would have looked at it as some, like, tech design. I don't know. Crazy. Is there something in that book? What is that?
Battle pass,
Jeez.
we can actually see the 0 point. And guess who's standing right in front of it? Jones.
Mr. Jones.
This is a very secret detail in the background, but I think it's credible. So let's say that Montague has stolen Peely, so that way he can have a ransom against Jones, and when he trades them, they will give him the information of where the 0 point is. This would be very interesting if this were the case. So do you guys also believe that Midas and Montague or Montague are brothers? Now, for the most proof for this theory that we've ever had, subscribe before I tell you.
Subscribe right now.
Season 2 is codenamed Aga, and that actually transfers to be called Family. What does Family remind you of? Midas and Montague. There were also 2 characters leaked, just 2, that had AIG C and AIG Z. There are some people thinking that the C and the Z mean something, but personally, what if they're just code names and they are actually Montague and Midas?
This is a stretch, but it's a possibility. The reason being they could do the whole season 2 secret agent thing again, but would they go that far? Because we already had the kind of revamp for the secret agent theme, but it's probably going to be Greek mythology themed. But is Montague even a Greek mythology character? I would really have to look into that. I'm honestly not sure.
We also know that the Floor is Lava game mode is supposed to return. But what does this have to do with Midas? Well, this time in the files it says Midas presents Floor is Lava. They've never done this before, and this is very interesting and makes us almost believe that 100% Midas is coming back. I don't think it's been this clear before. It's really interesting and exciting that these 2 characters have so much alike. And it makes me wonder if the reason that they have so much in common is because they're brothers and one's jealous of the other and wants to be a better version. Even if these characters aren't...
You could actually just go into the idea like maybe this could be a snapshot. Has anybody thought of that? I don't know. It's a possibility, that's for sure.
related, they're similar no matter what. And Montague can definitely be a very important character in the future of our storyline. I would love to hear your theories about Midas and Montague in the comments, so let me know right now.
This leaves me with one question. How does Oro fit into all this? I still want to know. But guys, that was a fantastic video. PBJ's content has been absolutely blowing up lately, and it is well deserved. Like that whole thing was phenomenal. But I still am on team. This is a different reality. This is this version of the Chapter 2 island, and Montague is the Chapter 2 version in this new reality of Midas. I believe that is the most likely scenario, but of course, we know Midas is coming back, but he probably just came along with all of us for the ride, right? There is one more theory that I would like to present, and PBJ, if you're watching this, I would love to know what you think down below. What if, because I've been thinking a lot about it since before I made this video, okay? The computer screen. It's Midas and Marigold. Most likely, it's the yacht. What if it's Montague? It's the same letters as Marigold. What if that's the case? How would that change the story moving forward? Maybe they could be working together. Maybe Midas could be helping. Think about this. The device event in the storyline was one of everybody's most favorite. If we're working off of this being an alternate timeline from the very first time that we, like from Chapter 2, right? We're working on Chapter 2, Season 1 being boring, Chapter 5, Season 1. Not a lot going on. Well, I mean, gameplay-wise, of course, everything's going on, but storyline related. We're just gearing up. We're getting the teasers. What if the events kind of repeat itself and it's not just the end? What if next up, we're getting the device event? How cool would it be Midas and Montague work together, but this time, Montague has the help of Midas, and Midas has the help of Montague. They bring their intellect together, and they actually succeed in building the device. We don't necessarily know if they can break the loop or anything like that. We don't know exactly what's going on with the Fortnite storyline in the 0 point right now. But for this version of the IO watching over, I don't know, man. Maybe the Midas Presents Flora's Lava thing is just an alternate version of the device. Maybe they create their own version of Flora's Lava. Maybe there's some sort of spin to it. I know we've seen Flora's Lava before, but what if that's maybe Midas carrying that information because that was all the way back in Chapter 1? I don't know. I'm just brainstorming again. We did see it again. I think it was in, Chapter 2, Season 5? Something like that. Flora's Lava disarmed. Maybe he can carry information. Somehow you can relate it to the story, right? That this is a different version of Flora's Lava. Maybe if the lava goes higher and higher and higher, eventually the loop will break. Maybe they won't need the device. I don't know. Just brainstorming. Maybe Montague and Midas are working together and it's not Midas and Marigold. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. I want to know what you guys think about PBJ, his video, the theories. Drop them down below, guys. It was an absolute pleasure to watch it. And thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. Use code PBJ. Subscribe to his channel, description, pinned comment down below. You will not regret it. You have my word, guys. Thank you so much for watching on the screen right now. You'll have 2 videos on the Clen channel that if you feel like staying on the channel, which you shouldn't, go check out PBJ's channel. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.